Hey everyone, I wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through the course syllabus and the final grade rubric. So I always start out with a general letter to you guys that I hope you read and just get to know me a little bit in the course. This is a clickable syllabus, so anytime you forget something and you want to know about it, you can just click on the link and it'll take you straight to that section. So I'll just go through a few important highlights of the syllabus, and of course, please come back to this anytime that you need to. All right, a few things. I wanted to point out this is a remote asynchronous course, so make sure you understand we won't be meeting at any specific times, although I will offer some Zooms throughout the semester just as option so that you can get help if you need it. But mostly you're going to follow along each week in D2L, and the weeks are laid out very specifically with dates. Everything's always going to be due at the same time, so hopefully that will help you out. All right, let's talk about the kind of work that you're going to have. If you were with me in 1010 last semester, some of this probably looks familiar to you. You will be doing Writing to Learn weekly work. These are basically discussion board posts and responses, or maybe some kind of little assignment that you turn into the D2L Dropbox. And those are going to help you work towards your larger writing assignments and understand the content of the course. You're also going to have power drafts and reflections. So power drafts are basically your drafts of your portfolio assignments that you turn into me for feedback. These aren't exactly first drafts. These are drafts that you have really gone through, you've thought about them, you revised them, you've even gone through a round of editing, you worked really hard on them, and now they're ready for instructor feedback. When you turn those in, you will reflect through a reflection document so that I can see what you need help with, what kind of feedback you need, and just to kind of see what kind of questions that you have from that, from this point of the assignment. At the end of the semester, you're going to turn in a writing portfolio. This is the culmination of all your revised power drafts of these assignments right here. And so let's just kind of review what you'll be doing this semester. So the first thing you'll do is an opposing viewpoints assignment where you're going to read an article. You're going to essentially have a lot of different viewpoints of this article, a rhetorical analysis where you think about how the author wrote the piece, summary response, so what did they say and how do you feel about it? And then the third component is comparing and contrasting this to another article on the same topic. And you'll have some guidelines about that. Every one of these you'll have an assignment sheet for, and I'll also have a video to go along with it so you know exactly what to do. You'll also have a research-based argument assignment where you're going to propose a topic, research about it, and write about it. And then finally, you're going to do a remix. So you're going to remix your argumentative paper into a new genre and share it with the class community. And again, I'll share more with you about those assignments as we move through the semester. If you want to be successful in this class, again, follow along weekly. Visit the Writing Center. I'm the Assistant Director of the Writing Center. And just remember that the Writing Center can help you at any stage of the writing process. And you can do this asynchronously, so you can send in your writing that you've done and get feedback on it through email that way. Or you can work one-on-one with a tutor in real time. This course will also be a portfolio-based course. So at the end of the semester, you're going to grade your own work for the entire course based on the criteria that I have provided on the final grade rubric. So it's really important you get to know this rubric right now because, again, it's too late by the end of the semester, right? If you wanted to earn that grade but you didn't do those weekly writing tasks, for example, you'd be in trouble. So we're going to go through that portfolio in just a second. The last thing that I wanted to point out to you really quickly on the syllabus are the final grade possibilities for the course. So you have to have a C- or better to pass this class, and that is not a personal policy, that's a university departmental policy. So just be aware of that. If you want to pass this class, you have to make from an A to a C- somewhere in there. Oh, I do want to mention really quickly, sometimes I skip over this a little bit more in 1010, but I do want to remind you, because this is a research-based course, you may be worried about plagiarism. And I want to tell you that I am here to help you understand responsible source usage. That's what this class is about. And so I don't want you to be afraid of it. I want you to understand that sometimes we do make mistakes, and that is okay. If you did not mean to misuse a source, you didn't know how to cite correctly, maybe you didn't know what patch writing is, that's what I'm here for. That's what this class is for. So we will work through those moments. I'll tell you what's wrong. I'll tell you why it's a problem, and you'll fix it. That's why we do revision in this class. We'll move forward. Deliberate plagiarism is a whole other story, and obviously if you deliberately plagiarized, we would deal with that in a much different manner. So just be aware of that. I don't want you to have fear with using sources. I want you to know I'm here to help support you with that. Okay, let's move on then to your final grade rubric so you can get to know it. If you were with me last semester, again, this is going to be a little bit different for you because I've changed just a few things. But this is the assignment sheet for it, and I'll go over this once again at the end of the semester. But basically it shows you everything that you need to include in your final portfolio. So you'll include your revisions of your major assignments and your remix project, as well as the final grade rubric document, which I'll show you in just a second. And I go over your due dates. Always check the due dates, they're in red. They may change, but this is what we're looking at for now. So at the end of the semester, this is what you are going to fill out. Basically, and this will again look familiar to those of you who had English 1010 with me. So we have essentially 14 weeks worth of opportunities to learn. So those are making sure that you've done the readings, you've watched the videos, and that you completed your assignments. So you will, and I would keep up with this as you go through the semester. I wouldn't wait till the very end because you may forget and you may have to go back to that discussion board to see if you did it. Hopefully you did. But if you've done everything as you're supposed to, you've done strong to excellent work and you completed it on time, then you will simply enter your rating. So hopefully those will be all 4s. And I did that, I did this, I did it on time, I did it well. If you missed a week, for example, you would put a 1. So you just would fill this out. And there's, again, all the right to learns right here for the semester. The second criteria to help determine your final grade are your power drafts. So did you complete them? Were they full? Were they really, really ready for instructor feedback? And did you turn them in on time? So you will evaluate your progress there. And there's always room for notes and reflections. So we all know these are crazy times and, maybe something happened that caused you to not have your work done on time. You could discuss that. I'm not asking you to disclose personal information here, but I'm just saying there's space here for you to communicate with me. And I'm happy to take every aspect of your life into consideration, especially in the times that we're in. The final criteria that you have here is just everything that you put in your final portfolio. So as you'll notice, this is a bit longer from last semester, but it's going to look at your ability to, for example, thoroughly revise. So could you actually take the opposing viewpoints assignment and look at my feedback and integrate that feedback and make your piece better? And you're looking at things like your ability to summarize and paraphrase, your ability to conduct secondary research, your ability to argue a position. All of these things are goals of the class, right? So you'll fill this out according to the criteria up here. And then when you're done, you're going to look at my stipulations. So if you're wanting an A, then you've got to be doing these right to learns each week, right? So this is where that criteria comes into play. So if you're wanting an A, but you only did 8 right to learns, well, there's a problem here, right? So this is where you really need to get to know what you need to do for your right to learns, what you need to do for your power drafts, and then of course how you feel like you've progressed in your writing on this final section right here. Once you've determined all of that, at the very bottom, and you can use plus or minus designations as needed to show variations in the criteria above. So if you feel like there's a reason that you would need a B plus instead of B minus, or instead of a B, then you can make that determination based on what you've done up here. So here's where you will propose your final grade. You will not put in a number. Instead, you will propose that letter grade. And then this semester, I'm requiring you to use the space below, right in here, to reflect on your course progress and to tell me a little bit about the grade that you have proposed. That's as simple as that. Once you turn in your whole portfolio, including the 2 revised assignments, your remixed assignment, and this rubric, you'll turn it in, and I will write back to you whether or not I approve your grade as you've listed it, or whether I suggest we revise that final grade to something different, and based on just some of the things I have seen that you filled out. So that is that. If you have any questions about it, I know this is going to be really new to some of you. I would encourage you to talk to some of the students who had 1010 with me. I encourage you to email me. I encourage you to utilize what we call the Ask Me Anything discussion board. That's a fantastic resource for you this semester because students think they're alone with their questions, but usually many other students have the same exact question. So please feel free to get any kind of clarification you need on the syllabus or on the final grade rubric.